Wrestling Figs, YouTube, what's going on, guys? I'm here with Enrique Ruvalcaba, Director of Marketing at Mattel and the WWE line. We go way back at this point. It's just been so long, and I'm going to ask him some questions. How are you today, Enrique,
Good.
first and foremost?
Good. Like, thank you for coming back.
Of course. We're always going to come back. Are you kidding? It's like leeches that you just can't peel off your skin. It's like, oh, God. The panel happened on Thursday, so you were front and center for that.
Yeah.
What was that like?
Are you talking about Del Rio crashing the panel again?
Well,
I don't know what's happening, man. I'm having these panels. It takes so much effort to set these up. And last year it was CM Punk crashing the panel. Luckily, it happened at the end. This year, again, we get to Q&A, and all of a sudden Del Rio comes in, crashing the party. I don't know what's going on.
So you're saying that you're to blame for the party crashing? Should
no,
you be held responsible for this?
I think maybe they don't like my panel, and that's how they're telling me or something.
Maybe they don't like toys.
Maybe
that's just not what they want. They just want to talk about something else. It's kind of funny to think also that CM Punk was crashing it last year, and this year he was sitting on it. So,
yeah.
Any gut reaction to just the overall thing? Did you think it was obviously a strong showing yesterday? There was stuff in the slides that isn't out here that was there. Where are you at feeling on this line right now?
Well, taking a step back, San Diego Comic-Con is a huge opportunity for us to connect with fans like you guys, to show you kind of what's happening, what's coming up next. And the fan panel is something that I'm very proud of because, it started 3 years ago, and it's gotten better and better every time, barring these crashes at the end. But we've gotten some great talent. Last year we had Rey Mysterio, and this year we had CM Punk on the panel. I mean, every year it's been really, really cool, and it's a really great way for the fans to hear directly from the talent. A couple years ago, and actually the very first year, we had the writers here, which was also great, for fans to hear from the writers, which is something that's a very, very rare treat. In fact, I think they hadn't done it for 20 years before we did it that first year. So it's a great way for us to not only allow the fans to connect with the talent, but also to put out, the latest news on our figures. There was a lot of exclusives that we revealed. I mean, not exclusives, but, first-time figure reveals, and a lot of very cool product that we showed.
Absolutely. So, and one detail that everybody should keep in mind for next year that's at the panel, don't forget the secret word, right?
Don't forget the secret word. Every once in a while, things happen where timing doesn't work out as great as we would like. So we were debuting a Arn Anderson figure that's going on sale this Monday on MattyCollector.com. And Arn Anderson was here yesterday, so you couldn't have actually had that figure and gotten it signed, and I know a lot of fans like to come by the booth and get stuff signed by the talent when they're here, so it was a bit of unfortunate timing, but we did have a couple on hand, and there was a secret word at the panel for the Q&A session, and a little boy asked about Legends, and Legends was the key word, and he won the only Arn Anderson that we gave away at the panel.
Sick. The only way to score free figures, remember the secret word. So let's just talk about everything real quick. The basic line, we saw some really new great sculpts in there. Christian Daniel Bryan, Tensai is back there. The Mass Kane is back there. Pretty much everything everyone's been asking for, you guys have been giving to them at this point. So are you going to continue with that? That's a silly question, but obviously it's a good thing.
I think so. Our primary objective is to put out the figures that you guys want, not only the fan community, but also, of course, the kid community out there. And so we're going to get to everyone on the roster. People change, come in and out of the WWE, but as best as we can, we're going to recreate the roster and give you guys as many deco variations. We have in Elites, we have our flashback characters, so we can even dip into the past. We want you guys to be happy, so we're going to do as many cool characters as you guys want. And, we talked about it in the panel, for example, with Zack Ryder's belt. That was something that was written in that the fans really wanted, a replica title, and we made it.
I also noticed the Best of 2012. That's generally a line that's reserved for re-releases of items that have come out earlier this year, but it looks like that Sin Cara will be in there, the Daniel Bryan will be in there, and there are a couple others on the back that I didn't notice, but it looks like is that becoming an avenue for you to kind of get things out a little quicker?
Yeah,
with an updated look?
Absolutely. So a couple things happen. One is every once in a while we'll put out a figure for the first time, like a Sin Cara, that's very highly demanded. It takes us a little while to get to those guys sometimes, and we sell out, and we get the messages on the boards. Hey, I've been to every Kmart, I've been to every Walmart, I can't find it. Are you guys going to re-release this figure? And we generally have the philosophy that we kind of retire our figures after they debut. We will, of course, make different variations of those guys, but every once in a while, that best of mix is our opportunity to reproduce those figures that are highly demanded and just put them back out in the marketplace. But because it is the best of 2012, if there's an opportunity for us to put in somebody like Sin Cara with a deco variation, it could be very cool to do that.
Awesome. Excellent. The Elite line, I've been on the boards. I see how everybody's reacting to it. It's just like they're all exploding right now with overwhelmed with joy. So, could it really get any better than where you're going with it right now, do you think?
I don't know the answer to that. We're definitely going to try. But what I can tell you is this. I've been working on WWE for a long time. And Elites, and the previous version of Elites that has been around has always been a high-level quality product. And I frankly think that this particular set of series, 15 through like 20, are the best I've ever seen. Individual characters I've liked from the past, but as a collection, the deco, the attire, the choices that we've made of what to put out, and the assortments, I think it's just great. I agree with the community. We work there, so we wouldn't put it out if we didn't believe in it, but it is, among my favorite series that we're putting out right now.
So let's talk just a quick minute about the new things up here. These, I'm not sure somebody explained to me yesterday what they're similar to, and like an older style figure. I was a little confused by it, but they look really cool, and they're stylistic and pretty interesting. What are they for anybody that may not know yet?
I don't really know, but I definitely love to get your guys' feedback on that if you like it. What I can tell you is this, when I was a kid growing up, there was a thing called Muscles that Mattel put out that were these like 1-inch, pink-toned wrestling / fighting guys, right. And they were very, very cool. I think there was a collection of like 260 or 266, I don't remember what it was, but there was a certain number of figures that you could collect. And there's been a lot of people at Mattel, some people who even worked on that line, who've kind of always thought about bringing it back. And one of the things that we do here at Comic-Con, the community is probably familiar, every year we kind of allow the designers to put something in a display case, right, just to have some fun with. Last year there was a paint array program. This year it's this. And I think it's very cool. I'd love to know if you guys agree. I'd love to know if Ringside agrees. And give us your thoughts.
I think they're interesting. It's also, maybe since they're small, it might be cheap enough to just amass like a huge number of them of names like you wouldn't expect to be in that situation. Like, the Rumblers, you're kind of getting there, but this, I would say you could probably have, 20 to 30 different guys right off the bat, maybe.
Yeah. Not only would you be able to collect a whole bunch of them at a low price, if you take a close look at that Rey Mysterio and The Rock, there's a bit of interpretation there, right, which I think is very cool. Again, one of those pieces of feedback I'd love to get from you guys, whether you like how we did that. You could do a very literal recreation, or you could actually, take an interpretation of what that character is.
Lastly, one thing that happened now that we're talking about announcing new things and showing crazy wild things at Comic-Con, last year you had announced that there was a new scale coming, possibly. Maybe. I don't know if you recall that. It may have been something you tried to forget. Here we are a year later, and we really haven't heard much about that at all. So are there any updates on that?
Well, what I can tell you is this, is that, we are always looking, as we were talking a little bit about this kind of muscle project, and, last year we did a statue, and the year before that there was like a 12-inch Beth Phoenix doll. We're always looking at kind of different form factors, and it's part of our business. So we do explore larger scales, smaller scales, international versions of things. We're always sort of planning for the next step. It's something that we think about a lot.
Okay. All right. Well, Enrique, thanks for taking the time. Here we go. We're all set pretty much. We're kind of wrapped up around here, and I'd like to thank you guys for everything that you did for us, bringing us out here. Letting us poke at things, and I got to hold things that there's like some of them are like my little firstborn nieces and nephews that I just want to baby around. So, and I wouldn't be able to do that without you. So thanks to you guys for treating us and the fans there so well.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you guys so much.
From Comic-Con, San Diego, 2012.